Hare Krishna, everyone, and a warm welcome back once again to our ever ongoing series on the glories of our most beloved Sri Vrindavan Dham. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pashtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So we are continuing with our mini-series on Stimulation for Ecstatic Love, and this will be part 122. And herein we'll continue discussing Srimati Radharani's lotus feet, in particular, again, the anklets that decorate those lotus feet. Now, Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati very beautifully describes Sri Radha's lotus feet in his Radharasa Sudhanidhi, his book. Therein he writes, that which is present deep within the heart of all the Upanishads is a most well-hidden secret. And what is that? It is the pair of Sri Radha's divine lotus feet, which are my only refuge, and are full of her own dancing playfulness. And the famous poet Parmanandas composed the following song, which may act as a stimulus for ecstatic love in the hearts of all sincere devotees. He begins, it's really beautiful. Listen to the music of the forest of Braj, causing that entire wooded area to attain bliss today. The forest leaves, flowers, stems and vines are dancing today. The forest is filled with the beautiful sounds of two musical instruments. Inspired by the sweet melody of Krishna's flute, the Queen of Braj dances today. Her ankle bells fill the emptiness. Her ankle bells fill the emptiness of Krishna's flute and override the musical notes of that Vamsi. Just see, the sun is now marrying its rays. Leaves are uniting with flowers. Water is embracing its shores. Krishna is dancing with Radha, and his flute melodies are dancing with her anklet bell sounds. Krishna is dancing with Radha, and his flute melodies are dancing with her anklet bell sounds. The poet Parmanandas says, I sacrifice my everything for the Jankara sound of Sri Radha's ankle bells. Hare Krishna. So, there's a beautiful pastime about Sri Radha's ankle bells described by Govinda Swami, one of the, we've described many times, one of the principal poets in the Ballabha Sampradaya. He also writes very beautifully, as follows. One day Krishna was playing with his friends in a cave on Govardhan Hill. He was the king, his advisor was Balaram, his Raj Guru was Madhumangal, his chief minister was Subal, and his attendant was Vishal, all the cowherd boys. So at one point, Sri Dham came forward and said, O Lord, please accept my respects. You are the food giver to us, but look at what cruel Gopa Stoka Krishna is doing in your kingdom. So a kingdom pastime. Now Stoka Krishna, of course, is another cowherd boy. The Gopas are just playing a game here. He is stealing our cows and painting them a saffron color to make them look like his saffron cows. I had 2,000 cows, O king, but now only 500 are left. Oh my Lord, please do justice for us. So Krishna, King Krishna, looked at Balaram, then he nodded and winked at Madhumangal, and then he said, all right, by the decree of Maha Mahim Baladev and Rajguru Madhumangalji, I declare that, but he stopped short, because suddenly, in the background, the sound, the divine sound of the ankle bells of Sri Radha, who was on her way to Govindakund to fetch water with other gopis, reached Krishna's ears. And his eyes, ears, nose, and other senses became inert and immovable. And he stopped speaking. And the cowherd boys, they were like stunned. And they just sat there waiting for the verdict on Stoka Krishna's stealing cows from the king, Krishna. But as the sound of Sri Radha's ankle bells became louder and louder, the royal prince, Madhamangal, shouted out, "O King Krishna, please announce your verdict to the court. What's the verdict?" But then Krishna, overwhelmed by this transcendentally deafening sound of Radha's ankle bells, instead of saying, "Arrest Stoka Krishna," he called out, "Arrest Krishna," and put him behind the captivating bars of this beautiful sound of Sri Radha's ankle bells. Arrest Krishna, and put him behind the captivating bars of this beautiful sound of Sri Radha's ankle bells. So, assessing this critical situation, Madhamangal stepped forward and he said, "The decision of this court will be declared tomorrow because our king needs some rest." So still inside the cave on Govardhan Hill, Krishna and his friends watched as Sri Radha very gracefully walked down the stairs of this lake, Govindakund, to refresh herself by washing her lotus feet in its sacred waters. And overwhelmed, seeing this, overwhelmed, Krishna turned to Madhamangal and he said the following, "My dear friend, why am I here in this form? I should be the water of Govindakund, which now comes in contact with the lotus feet of Sri Radha and washes her tinkling ankle bells. I should be a lotus in the Kund, making its life successful just by being near those ankle bells. Oh, my friend, take me to her, the wish-fulfilling tree of my life, my happiness, and my very own heart." Vrindavaneshwari Shrimati Radharani ki. So, Madhamangal took Krishna to Govindakund. They came out of the cave and they walked down to Govindakund, where Krishna sat on a large rock and started playing his flute. The poet describes that as he did so, the entire Vrindavan forest began dancing in bliss. And as the wind blew the trees to and fro, the leaves on the trees started getting greener and greener and greener. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki. And the flowers showered themselves down on the ground, causing the dust, the Brajrenu, to dance in a swirling way according to the directions of the wind. And the water of Govindakund made sounds of Jalataranga, as Sri Radha and her gopi friends began playfully splashing each other with the water. They were splashing with the water. And as they did so, Sri Radha's ankle bells resounded with sounds of Jana Jana, making the goddess Parvati in Kailash dance in ecstasy. The sound of her ankle bells, Tana Tana, made goddess Lakshmi in Vaikuntha dance in great happiness. And the sounds of her ankle bells, Ranana, ankle bells, Ranana, intoxicated the wife of Indra in Shwargaloka. And the sound of Hanana, the ankle bells, made Saraswati dance in the sky. And the sound of the ankle bells, Banana, made Mother Earth, Bhumi, dance in bliss on the hood of Sheshnag. And hearing the sound of her ankle bells, every Rama, R-O-M-A, Rama, meaning the pores of Krishna's body, began dancing like puppets, filling the forest of Braj with prema, with pure love. The poet Govinda Das says, may the sound of Sri Radha's ankle bells reverberate in the forest of Vrindavan every single day and every single night forevermore. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Great poet. Now, in the Vrindavan Research Institute, I found another poem by Parmanand Das in which he describes how Krishna once glorified the ankle bells of Srimati Radharani. He wrote, glorifying the beauty of Sri Radha's lotus feet, Krishna said, O Pyari, so beautiful, O Pyari, Pyari means dear one, O Pyari, you are as dear to me as my very life, but your tender lotus feet are even more dear to me than my life. They bear the heavy weight of ankle bells made by Tungavidya Saki. O Tungavidya Saki, you are the true artist in this creation of Brahma. Just by looking at the ankle bells you made for Sri Radha, the wife of Indra cursed her husband to never get such a pair of ankle bells like that. The blue sapphires of your ankle bells are like me, Krishna, who just want to be around your lotus feet, around your lotus feet. The bells hanging down towards your heels are like your devotees who worship your lotus feet daily. The gold and diamond chains of your ankle bells are the tears of lamenting souls who want to reach you. Are the tears of lamenting souls who want to reach you. The joints of your ankle bells are the hopes of many goddesses who worship you. Your ankle bells are more precious than the stars in the sky. Krishna speaking so beautifully. O my beloved Kishori, the jingling sounds of your ankle bells melt my heart. Upon reaching my ears, they don't allow me to play with my friends, milk my cows, or play my flute. O Kishori, please ask your dear Gopi, Tungavidya, what mantra she chanted to make the magical bells on your ankles. Please ask your dear Gopi, Tungavidya, what mantra she chanted to make the magical bells on your ankles. The poet Hita Parmanand says, may my mind always meditate on the beautiful sweet sounds of the ankle bells of Sri Radha, who is the dearmost of Radha Ballabha Lal. Radha Ballabha Lal. Now, Parmanand mentions Radha Ballabha, who actually was his Ishtadev, his worshipable deity in Vrindavan 500 years ago. That deity of Radha Ballabha is worshipped today in Vrindavan. He's an exquisitely beautiful deity. I sometimes think he's one of the best dressed deities in Vrindavan. His eyes are made of a precious stone, black but somehow translucent, very beautiful. You should visit that temple, Radha Ballabha temple. And I recently discovered that near the Radha Ballabha temple in Vrindavan is another smaller temple known as Radha Rasik Kishore temple. What a beautiful name. Radha Rasik Kishore temple, where a famous historical event happened to a famous Brajbasi saint named Hari Ram Vyas. Hari Ram Vyas was part of the Banki Bihari temple, and he wrote a number of poems actually about the glories and works of Rupa and Sanatana Goswamis in the Brajbas language. It's believed he was an eyewitness to the 6 Goswamis. And one day, he was chanting his Gayatri mantra, sitting in the forest of Kishori Van. Sitting in the forest, I never heard this Van before. Sitting in the forest of Kishori Van in Braj, which actually is known today as that crowded area filled with many streets and alleyways where the Radha Ballabha and the Banki Bihari temples are situated. If you've ever been down there, it's really crowded now. But it used to be a forest, a Van. So while chanting in Kishori Van, he was chanting his Gayatri, he was meditating on dressing Srimati Radharani with precious jewels and ornaments. And in that meditation, while tying her nupura, which literally means her ankle bells, he realized that the thread for tying those ankle bells was too short. And in this meditation, unable to find a suitable thread, he felt or he noticed a thread on his own body, which he immediately took and tore into two and used to tie the ankle bells of Sri Radha. However, as soon as he did so, his meditation broke. And he realized that the thread that he tore to tie the ankle bells of Sri Radha was none other than his own Brahman thread. And because of breaking that thread, the chanting of his Gayatri mantra and his meditation was disturbed. So then, suddenly, Srimati Radharani herself appeared to him and gave him a new Brahman thread with a boon that thread would never become torn, broken, burned by fire, dirty, or wet, and would remain ever fresh on his body until his departure from this world. And I was reading that pilgrims often visit that place, which is now the place of the Radharasi Kishore temple. So perhaps during one of our Kartik Parikramas in upcoming years, we can take a group of devotees to that place. I haven't been there yet. So, Vrindavan Dham ki, so much nectar. Let us conclude today with the words of Srila Narottam Das Thakur in his song Radhika Charana Renu, which translates literally as the dust of the lotus feet of Sri Radhika. He writes, one who adorns his body with the dust of the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika will easily attain Lord Giridhari. By taking the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika as his ashraya, or sole refuge, he becomes an exalted devotee. To him I say, excellent, bravo! All glories to Sri Radha, whose divine abode is Vrindavan. She is the wealth of Krishna's blissful pastimes. If my ears never hear such glories as Radha's, then I have been cheated by the hands of fate. One who is always in the association of devotees, who hears about and discusses prema katha, topics of divine love, such as the Rasa Leela pastimes in Vrindavan, he will attain the lotus feet of Krishna, whose bodily hue is like a dark blue monsoon cloud. He who is adverse to hearing and discussing these topics will never achieve the goal of life, and nor do I ever want to hear his name. He who is adverse to hearing and discussing these topics will never achieve the goal of life, nor do I ever want to hear his name. Hare Krishna. O brothers, by chanting Krishna's names, one gets Radhika's lotus feet. And by chanting Radha's names, one can get the moon-like Lord Krishna. In a few brief words, I have expressed what gives relief to this aching heart. Other talks are simply full of misery, with conflicting words and thoughts. Srila Narottam Das Thakur ki Deo. Hare Krishna. Sri Vrindavan Dham ki. Srila Prabhupada, the revealer of the Dham ki. Hare Krishna. So thank you, Prabhu. We'll be back next Friday, as we've been doing for a number of years now, with more nectar, more items, helping us to develop stimulus for ecstatic love for Radha and Krishna. Hare Krishna. Shri Shri Gauranitai ki, Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki, Shri Shri Radha Shama Sundar ki, Vrindavaneshwari, Srimati Radharani ki, her ankle bells ki, Mayapur Dham ki, Gauranitai ki, Shri Krishna Sankirtan Yagya ki, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Jai Jai Sisi Radhe Shan.